konca, tako nekaj po mesec, da se boste podpisali. Prosil bi vas, dajte čim bolj sodelovati, ne vas ne bo sram, dovolj v angliščini. To je krasna prilika, da se trenira. Tudi jaz sem težava nekaj, da je angliščina. Je tako, enostavno treba probati, pa skočiti, bolje nekaj še slava. Tako da urco in pol ste tukaj, vam želim prijetno poslušanje, prijetno delo. Pa profesor obljubil, da vas bo malo, se vam je že razložil, ključu v interakcijo. Ok, jaz samo tukaj support nam, sem bomo nesel. Okay, so I will leave you.
Okay.
And I wish
see you later. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, and the other issue I wanted to explain that we take also video, because I think one student yesterday from the undergraduate said that they don't like to be recorded. We take video for our lecture, so we try not to cover, some of the students who don't want to. But again, this is our right as a lecturers also, that we take videos, because every lecture we do it is different than the other lecture, and all over the world. I will be recording this all over all the universities and so on. So we respect that you might not participate, will not focus on not being participant during the lecture, but we'll focus on those who will try to participate. This is again something that you are participating, inspiring others, because inspiration economy is all about others to participate. Also, I will repeat to my friends here who's speaking, I said, if you're going to talk during this lecture, sorry, with all the respect, you can leave now. Okay? Either you listen to us humbly, and you are coming here to learn, or you can leave, because this is the way we've been doing it all over the world. Okay? So I'll leave the floor to Dr. Dunya.
So good afternoon, everyone. I think today it's a lovely weather outside, nice sunny day, so I hope the lecture is going to be as inspiring as the weather. My name is Dunya Ahmed. I'm giving the lecture with my colleague Dr. Buheji. We are both coming from Bahrain, but we are representing the Institute of Inspiration Economy, which is an institute that was established before a year and a half, approximately, and it was established here first in Slovenia. And from there we go and we try to travel and inspire the ideas all over the world. Our presentation today is going to be about the lecture about the power of an inspiration economy labs, because maybe the word of economy labs and inspiration economy labs may sound new for you, that we are going to explain all over the presentation, but I'm focusing in the beginning on the word of power. We always say the word power, it's a noun and a verb, and this shows you by itself how the word is powerful by itself, and it comes from ourselves, the power internally, and we pass our power internally and externally from ourselves. So when we talk about the power, it's the ability to do and act. So it's not, I'm not powerful if I'm not doing anything. It doesn't mean if I just say I'm powerful and I'm standing in my same place, I can say that I'm powerful. It's capability of doing, not only doing. So, and it's to accomplish something and finish it, the procession of controlling the things, to give power, to see, to affect others, to make others more powerful. So it's powering and empowering. So we're focusing from the powerful point of view from the whole dimension that we talk about it. And that's why we are talking about the power of an inspiration economy labs, because we believe that an inspiration labs have its power to affect and get affected from different dimensions and different variables that we are talking about. I talked to you a little bit about who we are, where we come from, and we focus on the currency for inspiration power. And in inspiration economy, we believe that we work in inspiring and changing without power and resources. We feel that everyone is powerful, so we don't take power from external resources. To change anything in the world, changing the society, changing any organization, you don't always need to change the law, or you need the help of others or resources from others. It's an internal power. If you have it and you believe in it, you can change it. So this is why we talk about an inspiration economy and an inspiration currency, that the currency is within us. It's not with the others. And I told you about the Inspiration International Institute that was established in Slovenia, but of course we had a long journey started before it. We have an international journal of an inspiration economy that was established in Bahrain. We have our media, and that's why Dr. Buheji was explaining about videoing the lecture, because it's part of the things that we uploaded in our media, and we do have lots of programs. We travel over the world always, so our now last stay for the last 6 months, we've been in Buheji, Bosnia, so that's where we're traveling now in the countries surrounding. Next month we are going to Africa, we are going to Egypt and then to Morocco. So we are trying to spread this idea all around the world in different places and contexts, and even the countries that we can't reach physically, like Palestine. We do have cooperation with them, and we always work with them through Skypes and other things, and they visited us in Bahrain and in other places. So nothing can stop you when you really want to reach all over the world. So we do have lots of activities. I'm not going through that we work in, but we simply inspire people and society. This is our main vision and mission that we work around. And here it's the secret that we talk about, what is the Inspiration Economy Labs. I'll go more in depth about what we are talking about and why we talk about an inspiration economy. So first thing, it's about, when we talk about inspiring individuals, of course we are talking about inspiring societies, organizations, that's our target. But we start always with inspiring individual. But if an inspiration just stayed an individual and didn't inspire others, it didn't have its waves inspiring others, didn't come back, we believe that this is not an inspiration, because it's very momental, it's just for you. So, okay, if there is an assignment about it, you have the idea, but it's just ended there. So we believe that an inspiration should be waves. You should inspire and get inspired. So even if you are inspired as an individual, you should be a medium to inspire the society. And if it stayed only the inspiration into an individual, you couldn't affect your organizations that you're in, your community, your society. It may stay with a shallow content. The capacity is not going to be very high. You are not going to affect and impact and have a legacy and achievements within around you, because it's always just stayed within you. So we may end our life even without having legacy. Lots of us live this our life, okay, and when we pass away, people remind us for a week, a month, a year, very closely. But there are few people who left legacy that everyone is talking about them around the world. So these are the people who affect their societies and affected the community and left the legacy. They didn't let the inspiration they have only within themselves. And these are the people that we are targeting to be. So, but when you are working and inspiring the society, you are going to have more realization, renewable ability. You are going to have a better way even in inspiring yourself, inspiring others, doing better work and doing more effects on this community that surrounds you and all over the world. So you are going to have more depth in content. And see, when I think only about me and myself, me and myself, I'm always in this small box. And I see the world within this small box. I even don't allow myself to look and see how big is this world and how everything is available for all. The more I think that I want to affect the society, I'm going to think that with abundance thinking that everything is available in this world, so I'm going to go from my shallow content to my depth and concept that I talk about. I'm going to create influences. Because I want to change the society, I'll be able to have a power to influence others and get influence. Because I'll be humbly be ready to learn. I'll not think that I have everything. And I will think of abundance that if I give others, they are going to give me back. So this is the influence that I'm going to talk about. And then I can create the difference in life that we are talking about. So the more frequency of challenges we have in our lives, that we believe in, the more we can go toward changing the society. The less challenges I have, the more I stay in my comfort zone, I will have less challenges, I'm happy where I am. I'm just going to be a person who is inspired but never be able to inspire the society around me. So one of the secrets that we talk always about in inspiration and inspiring society, it's facing challenges. So you shouldn't feel bad when you face challenges, because you're going to be stronger after each challenges and you're going to learn more. When we talk about inspiration labs, we always say in anything that we talk about, it should touch these 4 things. It should touch our mind, body, heart, and spirit. No matter what is it a commercial project? Is it a service? Is it something that I'm doing? Is it a change I'm going to create? Is it a lecture that I'm attending? If it's not touching all these 4 things, that means there's something missing there and I'm wasting my time doing this work. So we always should make sure, even when we work in volunteer work, if I work in a paid work and if I'm doing my study job, if I'm only attending here for attendance, I should make sure whatever I'm choosing in my life touch these 4s. Then I'll be able to get inspired with what I'm getting, and I'll be able to inspire others through this wave that I'm talking about. So, and when I talk about these 4 things, I'll be more able to be focused in other things that I'm going to do. I'll be more able to influence without power, without authority, because these 4 things by itself, it's enough power and resources and everything that I want, it's within these 4 things. If I'll be able to touch them and use them and understand them. And in inspiration economy, we always talk about that inspiration moves us into socio-economy. And here's the currency of inspiration. Today in the world, we can't talk about economy without the effect of social, and we can't say there's a social effect without the effect of economy. So that's why the word socio-economy, it's a very important emerging word since 1920s. It was started, and moreover, we believe in it more. And we believe it's the main thing that's affecting when we are talking about inspiration economy, and it's really about the power of the inspiration economy that we talk about. And here where we talk about that, we have this triangle that when we talk about the inspiration economy, we are talking about the 3 elements. Individual affects the organization that's going to change societies, the societies affects and inspire individuals. So it's the 3 dimensions that always work together, and that's what we call it's a human-based economy that we work within that. So I think from here, my colleague Dr. Mohammed is going to continue.
So yesterday, if you remember, we covered that we can inspire any person in the world. Any person need not to be gifted or clever or competitive to be inspired, just by using 3 things in life that we see it in life, but sometimes we hide away from it, and Dr. Dunya call it the comfy zone. I call it the comfort zone, but she call it the comfy zone, which is about challenges, taking challenges and observing that these challenges came to me. It meant to come to me to give me more opportunities, or sometimes learning from failures, as we mentioned for you, some of you yesterday, or even being selective in your repeating things. So, for example, when you repeat things twice or thrice, you learn more every time, instead of just repeating things for the sake of repeating. This will create from us really a different person. If we observe the things that is coming to us, this will create from us what we call lifelong learners, because once we start to get this, we'll feel that we're getting inspired by something or by someone, and this inspiration will take us to get us more ideas, more insights. We can see different ideas, and our behavioral learning will be changing, because as we said yesterday, for some of you remember that learning is about changing attitudes and behavior. So our behavioral learning will be more focused, will be concrete in life decisions, so will not be hesitation. Most of the failures of those people who dream and they don't get, and they end up with a boss, or those who dream and they become coaches or trainers or life leaders, is that they made proper decisions. They were not hesitating to take decisions in the right time, even though there was a risk in their decisions. They taken more of risks, and they did not. Overcome the fears. And I think yesterday my friend he reminded me that it's all about fear. Yes, it's most of the time it's all about fear. And for that, these type of people, we consider them in a state where it is now a stage. Either they stay inspired for themselves and they will end up not leaving a legacy, or they'll end up actually to go to stage 2, which is inspiring people. And this is why we call them the inspiration economy, because those who start to not only inspire themselves, they start to inspire others by their society, their community. They create a legacy, and they reorient our mindset. And they create from lots of us empathetic thinkers, where we start to think not in sympathetic way, just a reflection of whatever is happening, but we can see the big picture of life, and we start to take better decisions. For that, we believe that inspiration, it's not only from external sources, which is coming from family, environment, community, education. It's not only gifted from God or from nature or you know, it is for those who will have, let's say, sudden gifted skills or something like this, but it comes from within, because if you start to practice things in different way, you take challenges and you learn from these challenges, and you apply the 4 Ds, okay, in life. You know the 4 Ds? Did you hear about 4 Ds? Okay, it's about dream, desire, dedication, and determination. If you have a dream and you don't put it into a desire by practicing, you'll not go for dedication. And if you don't dedicate yourself again with challenges and observations, you'll not go for determination. So those who are determined to create a change in their life, their society, and their jobs, they want to become good entrepreneurs, leaders. They are usually, they go through these practices, and they put their dreams into raising the capacity of their life. And for that we say, these people, they will be differentiated by they are more able from any other people that they learn from doing. And we know that learning from doing is the best practices in creating a better person from us. For that we say always, this is why we have this logo. We believe that every mindset needs to be stimulated and challenged, because it will create from it a better, you will create from him or her a better person who can observe and see opportunities in different way. And then we take our mindset to another again level, which we start to visualize things, and we see new opportunities. Because people without visualization, as always I say, people can live without water for how many days? 3 days, right? In your weather, maybe even 4 days. Okay, in our weather, 1 day. Okay, and live without air for how long, or oxygen? 2 minutes. So for divers, sometimes they can go to up to 7 minutes. But they can, if they live at any moment without inspiration, and they don't know why you are doing this, why I'm existing here, why I'm attending this class, why I'm doing this program, why I'm working, why I'm doing this project, then they are really not living, because they are like driven by other forces. And this is what we should remind ourselves. Every moment of us, the more we are inspired about why we are doing things and what is the purpose for doing these things, the more to make us more human and spiritual being, as I said yesterday. So these people, they will look for outcome, not results. You know the difference between the word outcome and results? Okay. Outcome for results means how many times I attended the classes. Okay. Outcome, it means how much I really benefited from the program of undergraduate BSc or BA or my MBA. How much I benefited from it. The outcome, how much I really capitalized on my MBA. I became a businessman, a better leader, a better entrepreneur, and so on. Okay, but the results is that how you got an A, for example. This is a result. It doesn't matter. It's not an outcome. The outcome, it means that it's something you're going to use it to really affect yourself and others around you. And this is why we say it is about using the frontal lobe. And yesterday I spoken that the frontal lobe is one of the most important things that you've been given as a human, because it differentiates you from other animals. It is much larger in size and so on compared to the other 4 lobes. With the frontal lobe, we can see the challenges, we can associate things, and we can really see the holistic things. We link things together. So we link things, why I'm in Slovenia, why I'm studying here, what is my capability, what are the opportunities in Sillage, and what are now the turbulence in economy, and then I come with a better project or opportunity for business and so on. So it is about ability to associate things that makes people more inspired than others. We've spoken about these challenges earlier. I will not go through them, but with these challenges, when you take this repetition, failures, and challenges, you create not only change your mindset, but you create the 4 C's, which is the capacity, the changeability, the competency, and the capability. You can change lots of things, and you can change your the other 4 things that Dr. Dunya was spoken about, which is the heart, the mind, the spirit, and the physical content in general. Yeah. So we spoken also yesterday, and maybe I'll repeat it for you again. It is about these 3 things. You have to find what is your inspiration and spirit, and you have to practice that. Inspiration and spirit does not come by coincidence. You have to take the challenges more in life. You have to see failures as an opportunity, disappointments as an opportunity. Sometimes the more you are disappointed in your early stages of life, the more you can discover the world faster than others. And this is, I think, the difference between the wise people and the normal people. Because the wise people, they got early disappointments and they started to reflect on different things. And also, you can see the inspirational sources around you in a much better way. Whether it is your children, your family, it is maybe your, even I said yesterday, even sometimes the challenging environments. We find that lots of inspired people, they came from challenging environments. Today, this person who is now leading Microsoft, he came from the slums of Bombay. Okay, so I'm not sure if you've seen the Millionaire film, the Millionaire Slums Boy. Okay, it was about that issue, and now it's becoming a reality. There's lots of people who came from even very poor area. They become leaders in different because they found their that this reflected their inspirational sources. And also then we can see opportunities in different way. Your ability to see opportunities while others seeing a problem itself is a challenge. Yesterday I was trying to explain to, I'm not sure if there is.
Here, there are.
Okay, maybe it's not enough for others to see. But yesterday I was trying to explain is that we find always opportunities in others where they can't see opportunities. I go to industries, I'm paid a lot of money just to solve problems that it is common sense. Our problem today is that we don't see common sense as common sense because we started to be more of logical minded, and we became more professionals. And when we become not a holistic thinker, but only a professional, you see only whatever you're being trained on. You see, you miss lots of white spots around you. You see only black spots, which is in your professional area. For example, I never entered a pipe industry where they do pipes and they manufacture pipes. But I've seen that I've been called by an industry and they say, we will not pay you, but just give us our opinion. Once you give us, if this opinion or this proposal is right, then we will pay you the money for the whole week, okay, for the whole week of saving. And we're talking about millions of dollars that they are really spending every week for this problem. The problem was rejection of pipes. They reject lots of pipes because they have what we call it black spot in the pipes, which is rejected by the end users. And they brought experts in this field. Okay, but just going there and again seeing ability to observe things in a different way and asking what I call stupid questions or common sense or children questions, which is I told you maybe yesterday that Einstein has used to ask about it. Okay, or today most of the leaders of the world who create a change, they ask about it. You can solve lots of problems. So I asked, okay, what type of pipes you have? They said you have thick and narrow pipes. So I take the thick pipes because I can see easily the black spots. Then they told me, now what you're gonna do next? I said, okay, show me how you manufacture the pipes. So I gone and I was only learning, but humbly I was observing, because I didn't enter this industry and I know that I need to learn humbly. And there's no pressures on me. If I don't solve it, I will not lose anything, and they will not lose anything. And they showed me how the pipe is manufactured through a mold, and then I said, okay, and where do you put the mold? They told me that, we put the mold in a storeroom, and we cover the mold. How we cover the mold? They told me we cover the mold from the tip. Now, where is the area where is we have the black spot? We have the black spot in the body except the tip. So what is the solution, you think?
Take it off that tip.
Sorry?
Take it off that...
the cover.
Yes.
Okay, actually opposite. Cover all the pipe.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's common sense, right? Something relevant to covering the mold, right? Because the mold was covered only from the tip, we said, okay, cover it all. and they reduced their amount of rejection by 4%. They used to have 7%, they came down to 3%. And this is an example of how you solve many problems like this in life, because you start to observe things in different ways. So this is what will help us even to be more happy. The hormones of happiness is known. These are the 4 types of hormones. The ones that are temporary based are the endorphin and dopamine, but the long-term ones are the serotonin and oxytocin. And this means when you start to inspire others. It comes only to you when others feel happy. When you see others is happy, you start to be happy, and this is a permanent happiness. Especially, we're not talking about short-term relations. We're talking about long-term effectiveness and relations. For that, we say in inspiration economy, we really can change the world if we go in humbleness stage. We start to observe things because we want to learn and want to be humble. We start to see opportunities in different way, and once we implement opportunities, we start to discover things that others could not discover. We start to see, others will see always the black spots on something, or the something which is wrong, but you'll see always the problems as opportunity, and you see what is between these, what the others call it problem. You'll see that how you can build bridges to bring solutions and you create things from nothing. And for that we say that the more you are able to actively participate, you go to field visits, use gamification techniques, which is now very popular, use proper networking, you again ask lots of questions out of curiosity, the more you can change the world and you can reflect in a better way, and you'll be working like Sherlock Holmes. I'll just give you examples of what we did in Bahrain. For example, relevant to police. For example, we had a problem with drug trafficking. Okay, and again, this is in every country. Bahrain may be one of the lowest, by the way, in the world, because we are a small island and we are very protected in general. But we found out that just coding again and making sure what type of messages we get, because always, drug trafficking, you see sometimes when you go to customs, they are checking lots of your bags. You know that you should not be suspected, but they are checking your bags at one time, at maybe few certain hours. Why? Because they got a message from someone that there will be someone who bringing drugs here. Most of the customs, they work like this, but depending on how many messages they get at which time. So they think from this time to this time, someone will go through the airport or maybe the customs of between the borders and so on, whether from sea or from coming by car or and so on. So they will check a lot during this time. And we found out that this type of information sometimes, most of the time, is misleading. Because the drug traffickers, what they want to do, they want to mislead you to put certain efforts during certain time. And so how we can deal with this problem? We started to codify from where did this message come from, if it is a quality message or not. Because based on that, you can focus on really what we call the effective view. Otherwise, all the customs people, they have to stretch themselves for long time or long hours, and lots of things actually will pass by once they get tired. So this is an example of solving a problem. Also, I think yesterday I mentioned to you also that we solve problems relevant to healthcare. Okay, whether relevant to poisonous diseases or relevant to making more beds in hospitals, or making emergency patients, they get the bed by only asking again very simple questions and helping us to see things in different way. Speeding up the ability to get housing because because of certain criteria and so on. Also, this is something we have solved it because of these techniques. One of the things also maybe is very important is to build up environmental friendly industries. This is also one of the solutions we did in different areas. So these are just examples of how much the power, and this is without extra resources. So we're saying, if you are really making a development into growth, and you are really a person who can help your community, you are supposed to solve problems without extra resources. Again, the early detection of non-communicable diseases. In Bahrain, we have, non-communicable diseases are made of 4 things, right? Diabetes, blood sugar, blood pressure, cholesterol, and obesity. These are the 4 things that many countries, they are having a problem with. And even though we are having very good primary care in our country, in Bahrain, we are having health center between each 4 blocks actually, a very well equipped health center, the number of patients are increasing when it comes to these 4 diseases. Again, it was because of the inability of the government to make an early detection for children before they become sick patients on these diseases. Again, increasing the ability of governments, the ability of your business model, your ability as a family to make a differentiation is one of the techniques we use it again in solving the problems of our communities. So I would like you here to take an exercise. I would like you to tell me how we can increase or solve a problem in healthcare. We have lots of problems in healthcare about operation theater, okay, all over the world. For example, patients who want to go for surgery, they have to wait some time for 3-4 weeks, and they stay in pain. Okay, so how can we increase the throughput, the speed of using of making patients they go faster without increasing any resources, without increasing number of surgeons or number of staff, without increasing any resources. Okay, so I will give you each two, please work together, or 3, to tell me what is the solution. How can we increase, decrease the patient waiting time for any surgery in Slovenia? Okay, so we take just 3 minutes for that and discuss.
First solution, we should change the schedule or timetable of doctors. Instead of working only in the morning from 7 to 3, they could work like from, I don't know, 3 to 11, to 11 to 7. This is the first proposition, because most of the people are working in the morning, and they can be on the line also in the afternoon or in the weekend.
Excellent, excellent. I want to give you applause for this. An expert answer, because we want to increase what we do. Actually, we have formula. We are scientists. We are academics and scientists and practitioners. We will not work by coincidence. Even though I show you that I am trying to be like Sherlock Holmes, but still you have to use formulas. And what you have done, sir, is that you have tried to increase the number of our availability to utilize the theater, right? So, because most of the theaters, as you said, by 3 o'clock they want to go home and nobody wants to use it, while it is available. So theater is saying to the government or to the hospitals or to the healthcare people, please use me, but nobody is using it after 2 o'clock. Okay, so this is one way of doing it. Excellent. Okay, this is the expert answer. Okay. What about you?
Me? Well, my thinking of, I definitely wanted to change the whole priority on the surgeries. That means prioritizing the surgeries. So that means the most important ones and the less important ones. So focusing on the most important ones, because the doctor doesn't know which one is very important. So they used to do like 8-hour job types, and yeah, I'm free then.
Right.
Prioritizing, that means
Prioritizing patients
and definitely freeing some space for the most
needed.
critical.
Okay.
Yeah.
Again, this is another solution I would give. So I want to give them an applause for this. Because this is part of, again, efficiency. Because once I prioritize things, I'll be more efficient. Because people might, those who are waiting, they might die because of waiting. So we should not deal with hospitals or theaters like hotels. Who come first will be served first. No, it will be some for priority. And this is part of what they say in healthcare fairness. If you want to be fair, that means it's not about who will come first. No, it will be who will need it first. And this is something that sometimes healthcare takers they miss it. Excellent. Okay. What about you?
We agree with them.
That's the easy part. Okay, yesterday you said the same. Okay. Anything? Nothing? Okay. You have to be positive in order really to get inspired. And just as well because you are young. And the more you react now to things like this and challenges, the more you can make a difference. Okay, what about you guys there? Nothing?
Researching for solutions that didn't find any.
Okay, no. This is not an excuse, but I will say I'll accept it for now. Yes. Yes.
We think that average everyone should care for their health and in order to prevent possible operations.
Okay, excellent. So we are starting from actually going away from hospitals, because many people, they think if they don't get a good service, this means the government is not doing a good job. But the more the government or us, we are not doing a good job, when you go towards what they call it hospitals. For that they call it what? Secondary care, right? We are going to another more dangerous place. And God forbid there is a tertiary care, which is the ICU and so on. So we should be away from hospitals as much as we can by taking care of ourselves. Excellent. Okay, so let's give it a applause. Also, this will be a long-term solution. This will be a long-term solution, not a short-term solution that I will give to the government. What about you?
In general, to improve the system, like you said, not all 20 doctors working in the morning, but I don't know, 10 in the morning, 10 in the afternoon, and also to prioritize.
Okay, so both you are using both solutions at one time. Okay, excellent. So again, what about you guys? Yes. Okay, excellent. Certain hospitals in the world, they really try to use, I've seen that in France, they try to use their facility 24 hours. You know why? They would reduce the cost a lot, right? The more you utilize the facility, let's say this room now, how we can make the university benefit from this room? It should be used at least maybe 18 hours a day, okay? Can be rented at night or in the morning whenever there is schedule, right? It can be multi-purpose used and so on. So the more you utilize things, the more you can actually have a return on investment. So this again, the turning over, very important, again, part of the availability. I just want to remind you about the Chinese, when they had the Olympic Games, and I think now they adopted this in all the Olympic Games. I don't know if you remember, if you've seen maybe the basketball or the volleyball when they play, or tennis, in a closed area where there will be some sweat coming on the floor. Okay? They used to take what? One person will enter and clean, or how many persons will enter? Do you see that? About 2 or 3, not 2, even 10 people, they will just enter very quickly and clean and come back. Why? Because they wanted to shorten the time of the people waiting. And this is one of the solutions, is that again utilize the place much more and clean the place much more. Even the cleaning of the place, I'm not sure if anyone thought about that. Cleaning of the theater room and preparing it for instead of having 2 nurses, they will have 5 people come at one time, clean it very quickly and go out. Okay? This is, we call it a technique called single minute exchange die, which means very quickly we go do things and come back so that we make the uptime higher. Okay? Anything here? Nothing? Okay. What about you guys?
We were thinking about asking patients that had previous organ transplants, because the waiting period was so long, and there was a possibility they could die.
Sure.
And they were prepared to do voluntary work like surveys, so the doctors could get some visual cues of when patients symptoms become to show, so they can get to the operating theater faster.
Okay, excellent. One of the things that is missing also, sometimes in lots of hospitals, they don't differentiate the priority. So you said, some of you have mentioned about prioritizing things. But what our friend said here is that even if we give patient, for example, a certain time, still we can make him come up or later because of emergency cases. And I think this is something that we need to update always, update ourselves. Did the patient symptom change? Did it start to create another problems for his heart or something like this? So we need to always keep updated with the patients who are waiting online. Excellent. So again, let's give them a
We think we should start to solve a basic problem. Then we could focus on consequences. And also, for our opinion is, we think that official medicine should work side by side with alternatives.
Excellent. Okay, so
then they will solve a problem with health quicker.
Right.
Because here I saw a problem. where you have a small one problem with health.
Yes.
You shouldn't go to the doctor. They
yeah.
don't have time for you.
True.
And then when you get big illness, then
You are not a priority.
yes.
Yes, yes. Yeah. So again, it goes back to the same way in making more people aware about that hospitals is not meant to be for normal problems, right?
Yes.
Normal problems, either you can take care of yourself and you manage to by making the quality of life, or you are supposed to go to the primary care, what we call it primary care, which is
Yes.
a family physician, because most of the people, they will be worried, and they go once they go to secondary care hospitals, they develop what we call psychosomatic. So you become more ill actually, because always they're gonna
Yes.
think about themselves that they are sick and so on. Excellent. Okay, but this is again a long term. But thank you very much. So our solution usually, by the way, this is the secret formula that we use for solving problems that we are much paid for that, by the way, by just using this. Either we increase the availability, or we increase the effectiveness, the outcome, or we increase the efficiency of any organization. For example, even in airline industry, okay, we can increase the. Now we can see it in lots of airlines. That is what we call low-cost airlines. So now, yeah, a lot of airlines. One of them is the the European one, Scottish it is, right?
Yes.
Jet
Yeah,
Airways.
yeah. And Jet Air and others.
Lufthansa.
Yeah, Lufthansa. I don't think they are losing this technique. Okay, they are still a bureaucratic organization. But I'm talking about low-cost airlines, how they are managing their cost. Because first of all, they are using lots of techniques. First of all, about efficiency, you'll see that most of their food is light equipment. So they either they sell you the food, so you are not you have to pay for it, so you will not buy a lot of things, okay? And there will not be a lot of waste. Second thing, it will be always a light material, very light material you are losing, even the place. You don't see this in Lufthansa and other big airlines. The place will be very luxury. The spoons will be from stainless steel. These people, they do not use that. This is one way of saving what? The most costly thing in any airline, what is it?
Fuel.
Sorry?
Wait.
It is the oil, right? It's the oil they are paying. This is the most, 70% of your ticket will be for oil. And then 20% for tax. Their profit margin is about 10% maximum. Okay? So this is an example of how also the airline industry, you can see they're increasing the availability. So now they started not to take fuel from the airport, the transit airport. They take it always from the source airport, so that they avoid taking the plane, because the plane pays as a taxi a lot of money when it stands in the airport. Once it flies, it is cheaper. So the more it's fly hours, the better we can utilize the engine, and the better we can utilize also the return on investment on the airplane. So most of the airplanes now, these low-cost airlines, they fly for 18 hours a day. Okay, so for that day, while the other normal airlines, they talk about 6 hours to 8 hours a day. So there is a difference. The other issue is that they don't take any services from the ground airline, and they try to take drop passenger and take passenger very quickly. So again, the turnover ratio for them is very fast. This type of techniques now is making really a difference in lots of, and for that we say it is that our ability to discover will be optimized by using this formula, and also we use another formula, which is we call it the optimizing and sustaining inspiration, by really creating first of all the need for change, and then we create models, and then we manage this model to make a success story from it. These type of techniques now it's used a lot by us and our experts in different areas of the field. It helps us to move economies from being growth based, where they will depend on number of things, of how many times they did things, to more ability to really make people more interdependent, more independent of resources. We are hoping that we push organizations to be in this area where the ability to discover, excite, and engage people in different ways is becoming a unique technique. For example, you see today lots of even software is coming like this. For example, they depend on our engagement, their value in the market. They depend on our how much they excite us, and depend on how much we discover things through them, like Instagram. Now there is lots of monkey surveys, lots of surveys, Google surveys, all of it coming to be like engaging you, and they're going to use your data in different ways. Okay, so this is it's like win-win situation when you utilize this. Even now, there is software today. I've seen it that is better than designing, sending your if you want to make a website for yourself. There is now new website software that is available. You can make the best website without using any IT company and so on. So this is an example of things that is coming up because of the issue of inspiration. And I am sure that all of these people that we hear about today, which is, we call it, we have one of the popular guys, his name is Umar bin Abdul Aziz, or Ibn Khaldun, or Gandhi, or Einstein, or Mandela, or Jobs. All of them, they knew how they use their inspiration cycle. The ups and downs for them was meant to be challenges that created for them more observation, obstacles that created for them more observation, and then they started to really be persistent. The word between inspired and uninspired is persistence. They became more persistent because they started to see things in a different way, and for that they became an inspiring source for all of us till today. Okay. You know what is the difference between the rich and the poor?
And the way of thinking.
Way of thinking, okay? And way of seeing life, right? So the loss of the rich people does not mean that they are carrying only money, okay? They start maybe without money, but they make from ability to visualize things, and they start visualizing things because they start to see that they as a human capital, whatever they have resources, they are able to change the world. They start to believe in themselves. Okay, and I'm sure you had lots of actors who were sleeping in cars, but because they dreamt that they will get $10 million check in 5 or 10 years, they got this check in 3 years because they were visualizing this every day and they were working for it. And your ability to use our social capital, our relations, how we are playing with the community, our network, or how much we can capitalize in this community, our natural capital, okay, also make us a different story. And our physical capital, our ability to really utilize our physical capital in a different way. And then the financial capital. Unfortunately, most of us, we think the rich people is about financial. No, it's the ability to use all of these together really to make them differentiate themselves from the poor. Sometimes there is lots of people, they have lots of money. I'm not sure if you know that, or I met lots of people, even our top people of countries, which is I happen either to train them or to sit down with them one-to-one to develop their ideas and so on. And I can tell you'll find sometimes, even though they are in high positions or they have lots of money, but they are really poor in their abilities, and they are really poor in understanding the world. Why you see sometimes certain people that are really, they don't have a lot of money, but they can influence lots of people, and they have lots of people who follow them because they understood how they capitalize on all these 5 capitals. So I want to give you exercise before we conclude. I think we have 15 minutes, okay? This exercise, I would like you to tell me as a group how you can capitalize on something to make for a company. Okay, let's consider it every 3 together for a company. How we can improve a company, choose a company, and tell me how you're going to capitalize on these 5 capitals. Okay? I repeat that for you. Choose a company or a type of project, and tell me how you can improve it using these type of 5 capitals.
Podjetje uporablja za vse te.
We take 7 minutes for this before we.
Da bi zadostovala zapravi.
Okay, good.
For the human capital, we would.
What is the project you chose then?
We have just made up a company.
Okay, come.
But if let's say we would hire a coach to educate our employees if there was a field of knowledge they wouldn't have.
Excellent.
Or to hire new people.
Excellent.
If they were useless, so to say.
Okay.
For the finance capital, we would try to use some either bigger company to sponsor us,
Right.
or get a credit.
Excellent.
For the social capital, we would either make a network or introduce a network to the people of our employees, to make sure they connect with each other, they talk. That's the important stuff.
Right.
The physical capital.
And social, it might be also not only internal but external.
It's external.
So maybe if each employee we tell them, we give him a target to make maybe bring 5 of people. This is how Alibaba started. You know Alibaba, right? Yes. So
Jaz bom označil tiste, ko boste šli prej, bom na koncu prebral primke, pa bom dal denimo, pa naj zbriše točko. Ker Torej sem moja napaka, da šel v listu, zdaj pa to ne sramnost. Zato na koncu prazna učilnica. Zaradi mene pejte, ampak jaz sem bolj na koncu značil, kdo je šel, pa bo šla pika. In čisto vseeno.
Okay, continue.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And what's left? The natural capital, I think? Natural capital, well, that's natural sources. That's what you meant?
Yes.
Well, I don't know how to use that.
Okay. But
depends on
what
the
would be
company.
for you a natural capital?
Maybe
Maybe the place of the company, right?
the placing of the company in the world.
Yeah, where it is now, for example, and how we can capitalize on the environment around it and so on. Okay, that's the natural capital.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I
Thank
wasn't
you.
sure.
Okay, thanks a lot. Thank you. Let's guys, if you manage, do anything? What about you guys? No? There? Nothing? What about you guys?
We were made up.
Yes, excellent. Can we have your attention, please?
The human capital, we were thinking about educating our employees, sending them to seminars. Then physical capital, the amount of people that are employed in our company.
Right.
And then the social capital, maybe to connect with other companies. Or,
Okay, excellent.
then the financial to get sponsors or partners.
Right.
And then the natural capital where our company would be located.
Okay. And maybe sometime if you are located in Slovenia, so what would be your natural capital? Let's say you are a training company and you are in Slovenia. Because we have chosen Slovenia for one of the reasons because of that. I think Slovenia told you we have our headquarters here. What is the difference in Slovenia nature than other countries? Most other countries forest. You have I think 70% of your land. So what you can do from that? As a training company.
Do things in the nature.
Right. You can do outside training, the nature, right? Ecotourism you can establish, right? Learning by doing, learning by games. Thank you very much. Yeah.
For the human capital, we think that we should ensure the improvement of their workers' knowledge.
Right.
Then social capital, in order to be more recognized, they should advertise more.
I know they always say yes.
We wanted to touch the area of, I'm going to say, psychical stress here.
Okay, excellent.
Of the human. We wanted to relieve the, or I'm going to say, adapt to working hours of every individual working in every company. So we wanted to change the schedule for the morning hours because we know that everybody has a problem waking up in the morning and trying to go to work, and some people are even in a rush here.
Yeah.
And they really need to take the kids to the kindergarten and every else. Yeah. So we wanted to add some special hours for the relieving the stress and coming to work much more fresh and
because it will increase the
productivity of everything, and increasing the productivity changes everything and touches every area of your
excellent
triangle. I'm not going to say triangle, but
yes. Okay, excellent. Actually, I just wanted to comment. One of the projects we've taken in Bahrain is about reducing anxiety of people. We had the Arab Spring and lots of problems that came around in our countries, and we found out that lots of people, they started to have suicide. Okay, still it is a few percentage compared to the number of population, but the number of suicide doubled or tripled in a few years. And one of the reasons of suicide is what? Anxiety. Yes, anxiety that leads to treatment of depression and so on and so on. And again, we use the technique of early detection, where we started to early detect things not only through physicians, but we started to make people train themselves how they will know whether this normal anxiety or it's anxiety that will take them to go to hospitals and so on. So people, they start to really control themselves and start to see that how they deal with anxiety in different ways. One of it is, which is I like and I use it, eating chocolate, right? Black chocolate, for example, or listening to music, or making sport, walking, and so on. And this is again something that is can be done to reduce the lots of diseases in the society. Okay, thank you. Yes.
Okay, we choose in our neighborhood the new Vietnam restaurant.
Okay.
We thought they could work more with the more people, especially in the morning, because they have a great coffee, Vietnamese coffee.
Okay.
It's a good product. They should think about establishing a franchise also, because we think it's a good idea. Also, they should more connect with like a student organization, having some offers for students, some different groups.
Excellent. And this is when you say connect, it means
social capital.
Excellent.
Using people,
Excellent.
yes.
Yes.
About the financial capital, when they be able to earn more money, they should invest more in this one. This is really
excellent. Excellent. So again, you can see, all of us can really create an inspiration in our societies by using these techniques, using this formula, or starting to observe. I've given you today how many powers we have, but we are not using. And always we think that we cannot solve any problem, while it is solvable by just believing in ourselves and our intrinsic powers, and using these techniques, we can find lots of opportunities on where others they thought it is a problem. You see it as an opportunity for business development. They see it as a problem and a challenge of their life, and maybe they close their business or they run away because of these issues. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you again. All the best for you in the rest of this semester. Thank you.
Sama počak tezom prebrati izvedbu individualno znači